Democrats are making big investments in their efforts to hold on to the Senate. They are also making efforts to flip a seat, like in Florida, where Democrat Debbie Murcaso-Powell is looking to unseat Republican Senator Rick Scott. Late last month, the DNC announced a six-figure investment for get-out-the-vote efforts in the state. And Senate Democrats' campaign arm announced a multi-million-dollar ad buy in both Florida and Texas. Just the other day, Murcaso-Powell picked up a key endorsement. Take a look.
Florida, you hear it every 2 years. This election is too important to sit out. Well, it's true this year, too. That's why we have to elect Debbie Murcaso-Powell to the U.S. Senate. Here's the deal. Debbie grew up under a dictatorship and came to America to find freedom and a chance to do better.
And former Congresswoman Debbie Murcaso-Powell joins us now. Congresswoman, I will just say, President Obama really delivered the name there, okay?
He really did, and it's really good to have you aboard. Look, I am officially on the record saying your state is in play in a whole lot of ways this year for a bunch of very good reasons. And one of the good reasons is a candidate like yourself running against Rick Scott. First, level up the endorsement of the former president in your race in Florida, given everything that's been going on there. And second, how is your campaign positioned now in the last 30 days relative to your opponent, the incumbent senator?
Yeah, thank you so much, Michael, and good morning to all of you. It's a great way to start my morning watching that endorsement once again. President Barack Obama understands the state of Florida, and he's someone that won Florida back in 2008. In 2012. And one of the things that I think we have forgotten in this country is what it means to come together, to be united in one mission, to help people and lift up our communities and our families. And that is why this endorsement is so important to me. And it's so inspiring for many people living in the state of Florida, because we have been left behind for too long. And I think that Floridians have been showing the country who we are. We are truly a state that has been independent for many years. We are swingy. We have voted for Barack Obama and then, of course, went towards the right for the past two cycles, but we're coming right back. And all the polls are showing exactly that. And I tell the people of Florida, I am tied in the polls right now because of you, because you believe what is possible when we come together. And that's exactly also what happened back in 2018 when our community came together and no one thought I could defeat a very popular Republican at that time. But I did. And it's exactly what's happening now. Unfortunately, Michael, Rick Scott is the wealthiest senator that we have in the U.S. Senate right now. He oversaw the largest Medicare fraud in the history of this country. So he has unlimited resources. He just wrote himself a $10 million check to put against me. And that's why I need everyone watching to go to DebbieForFlorida.com. Support me in this race. We're statistically tied. We can defeat Rick Scott. And believe me when I tell you, you don't want to be missing Mitch McConnell if Rick Scott gets reelected and then he becomes Senate Majority Leader, which is exactly what he wants. So DebbieForFlorida.com, everyone. We can do it.
Congresswoman, let's take a listen to Rick Scott talking about the Heritage Foundation. This is back from April of 2023.
If you don't remember anything else I said today, the most important thing is I want to thank you. I've been in Washington for a little over 4 years, and the one group that cares about two things is heritage. They actually really care about good policy, and they really push good policy. They bring up good policy. They promote good policy. They help you move good policy along. They work with your office. They do an unbelievable job with policy.
Congresswoman, just to be transparent with our viewers, we did pull that video from your campaign's X account. When he talks about good policy, we now know that that good policy has a name, Project 2025, and it is not very popular with American voters.
Well, no. And if you remember, Rick Scott wrote his plan for America is what he calls it. And I call it the preamble for Project 2025, where he proposes eliminating Medicare and Social Security and proposes raising taxes on middle-class families. And let's make something very clear. We have just seen the devastation left behind from Hurricane Helene just last week. I was visiting Pinellas County, and I've seen people who have lost everything. And we are bracing ourselves for yet another storm, possibly next week in the same area. Rick Scott voted against funding for FEMA, which is part of that Project 2025. They want to dismantle the Department of Education. They want to get rid of NOAA, the Weather Service. They want to pass a national abortion ban. And not only that, but criminalize doctors and healthcare providers for providing the central healthcare for a woman. I mean, they have a strategy. And this is what I think everyone needs to understand, that they have a strategy that has been going on now for many years. Of course, appointing Supreme Court justices that were going to overturn Roe v. Wade, and then having a 900-page document, which Rick Scott presented the introduction to that a couple of years ago. They know what they want to do. And Rick Scott, again, wants to become Senate Majority Leader. We have to keep the Senate majority. Right now, the best pickup opportunity right now is it runs through Florida. And I'm telling you, Floridians have been on the ground mobilizing. They're fighting back. We are done with the extremism. And I think everyone here is done with Rick Scott as well.
Congresswoman, you mentioned the threat of another tropical storm Milton. According to the weather map, it has strengthened and it is forecasted to become a major hurricane before Florida landfall, potentially Wednesday or Thursday of this week. You have a campaign ad about hurricanes, and I really think it's important for people to hear this, because folks do not understand the realities of living in Florida when it comes to the scale of devastation and then accessing resources to rebuild separate from FEMA. Take a listen.
Another hurricane, more devastation, and Rick Scott is only making it worse. Scott took $3 million from insurance companies and let them raise rates and deny claims. He even voted against billions in disaster relief funds. I'm Debbie Mucarsel-Powell. Rick Scott sold us out.
30 days until Election Day, Congresswoman, it strikes me that given the level of devastation that people throughout your state and other states in this country are feeling, the ballot box might not be the first thing on their minds. What is your message to folks as they are, yes, dealing with this devastation, the threat of another potential hurricane, and also the realities that who they elect matters and can directly affect their lives when it comes to things like disaster relief funds and your insurance claims?
Well, first of all, we need to make sure that public safety comes above everything else. I mean, I am extremely concerned because, like I said, I just got back from that area, and some of the stories are heartbreaking. I mean, we saw flooding events and storm surge in areas that were not expected, where people lost everything. There's 16,000 people in Pinellas County alone that don't have housing right now. And now we're seeing another storm. But the problem is that Rick Scott couldn't be a more opportunistic politician. I mean, he causes these issues. He's the one that gave $50 million to insurance companies that came into the market and then left people behind. And it's because he took all these contributions from insurance companies. Then he goes around wearing a Navy hat, pretending to care, votes against FEMA funding the day after Ian. And so what people need to understand is that despite the challenges that we have, if you want to continue in this situation where people can't afford to pay for their bills, they can't afford to pay for their housing, then then you're going to stay home. If you want change, if you want new leadership, if you want someone that's actually going to do the work that we have to do to lower insurance rates, then let's get out to vote. We can do it. We can win, and we can get back our state.
Congresswoman Debbie Mucarsel-Powell, thank you very much.